Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
There, everybody, and welcome to another Sports
Podcast.
I'm Joel Anderson.
I'm Jordan Pomaville.
And joining us, as always, is the sports outsider, Phil Ranta.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
That's right, folks. Christmas is fast approaching. We have this is the last show before Christmas, isn't it?
Yeah, and we left Hanukkah in the dust.
Yes.
Goodbye,
blew
Hanukkah.
right past it.
For our
blew
Jewish listeners, we're sorry that we are now mentioning Christmas and that we made no mention whatsoever of Hanukkah.
Well, in fairness, they tune into the podcast for the sports.
That's a fair point.
And the sports.
But now they're getting the Christmas.
sports.
And the sports, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so it goes. Phil, you catch any games?
No,
Okay.
I didn't.
I
I
feel
heard
like I
that
need to keep
NHL
asking.
13 is good. The EA sports game, NHL 13.
Is there a joke in there or no?
No, I just heard it was really good.
Man,
It's
because
the
there's
only
no
access to the
season.
NHL you got.
So I feel
Right.
like the joke right there could have put something together real quick.
Oh, something happened to hockey, Jordan?
There's no hockey, Phil.
Well, there is if you buy NHL 13 by EA Sports. It's in the game.
Well, that'll have to do.
Yep.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update. Brought to you by
Mentos, feel the rush in your mouth. Ho, 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 jingle bells.
It's a season.
That is great.
That is
That
great.
is outstanding.
Santa.
That's
Once
outstanding.
again, our
Santa Claus.
Jewish viewers are going to be furious, but you know,
I feel like people of many different faiths
can appreciate
enjoy
Santa
Santa
Claus.
Claus.
I feel like
Okay.
Santa is a Hasidic Jewish man,
Yeah.
anyways, right?
Well, speaking
That's
of
what I was led
Hasidic
to
Jewish
believe.
men,
Ish.
what's up with Tim Tebow?
Well, you know, Jets 10, Tennessee Titans 14.
Oh,
And I'm going to steal this joke. I was listening to a CBS Sports podcast.
yeah.
But they said if someone was watching this as the first football game they ever saw, they feel really bad for him because they'll probably never watch football again.
Oh, that's what happened to me when I was little.
You happen to see a bad football game?
No, I saw this game in my mind's eye. Do you know we're all connected?
Well,
the
of
different
course.
players.
But in your mind's eye, you were struck by a vision as a young boy
Of a
and it
really
was-
bad
it was
football
It was the
game.
Monday night football game from
Yeah.
December of 2012.
And I went, yawn, mind's eye, yawn.
Hey, wait a second. I
don't
entirely
think he had.
possible for those of us who don't catch the Thursday night game when the world ends on Friday for the Mayan apocalypse.
Where's this going, Joe?
That's gonna be the last game they ever saw.
Yeah, or yesterday because this podcast is released
Right.
on Saturdays.
Also, the Thursday night game is not happening this week. It's Saturday.
Oh, so that's
Ah.
it. That was the last football game ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Bad. And I don't even think Tim Tebow played. Did he play?
I don't remember seeing Tim Tebow get in there.
But we have better news.
yeah.
Greg McElroy, update, watch, update.
Greg McElroy, update, watch, update. Brought to you by
Skittles, taste the rainbow. Ho, 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 ho. I'm back and I'm plugging another candy.
Santa
was a long
likes
drop.
candy.
Yeah, Santa, he should. He's so fat.
And I am so glad that we locked up that Skittles thing.
Yeah, me too.
Thank God.
That was foresight.
Yeah, real smart.
Again, who would have? I remember when you first brought it to me, Jordan. You said we got this Greg McElroy update, watch, update deal, and I went, really?
And he went,
Greg
"You're
McElroy?"
never gonna use that. This is my Jordan impression."
That's stunningly apt.
Yeah, it was right on.
But Greg McElroy has leapfrogged Tim Tebow
Now
on the
the
depth
starting
chart.
quarterback for the New York Jets for the last two games.
Sanchez done.
Yet,
Whoa.
so Sanchez plays horrendously for 15 straight games.
Right.
Just horrendously.
Awful football.
And never gets benched along the way, despite the fact that they have the other quarterback who started last year, won, 5 straight games and a playoff game as a starter, and they trade a 4th-round pick to get him and never let him see the field.
Jeez, that sucks.
Well, but not for Greg McElroy.
Mac
Yeah.
Kilroy.
Mac Kilroy.
Mac Kilroy.
Seriously, Mac Kilroy.
No. No.
Oh.
That is not in the spirit of the holidays.
Oh.
Greg McElroy,
Mac Kilroy.
drafted in the 7th round of the 2011 draft.
Where do you know where did they say where he went to school?
I have no idea. He was drafted in the 7th round, so how good could it be?
But well, they
Was this the guy who was at at Alabama before the guy who's currently at Alabama?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now you've jogged my memory. He was at Alabama.
Okay.
Roll Tide. Roll damn Tide.
Yeah, they're
Scanning
full of
Newton.
surprises.
And that was Greg McElroy. Update, watch, update.
Greg McElroy, update, watch, update. Brought to you by
Skittles, taste the rainbow. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
And this concludes the Tim Tebow Update, watch, update.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update. Brought to you by
Mentos, I represent 4th of July. What?
They didn't even do the
They
tagline.
didn't even do the tagline.
That was weird.
Yeah, I think they're using all their holiday drops all at once.
You know,
Yeah.
it's fine. And
Yeah.
it's weird to have a bracketed update, watch, update within
Yeah.
an update,
Yeah.
watch, update.
Yeah.
I know. It's like Inception.
We might have to rethink that.
Oh, where's your totem? Jordan, your totem. Oh, gravity doesn't exist.
Oh, stakes have changed somehow.
Steaks.
Athlete on losing team rips fans and media in something that has never before happened.
Wait,
What?
An athlete on a losing football team ripped the fans and the media.
That just sounds like poor
Wow.
sportsmanship.
Yeah. Green Bay Packers, 21. They clinched the NFL North. Chicago Bears, 13. They clinched the Whiner's Cup.
Oh, Chicago.
Brian Urlacher, who everyone knows because his name is Urlacher, and he has a foreboding presence. He's a large man.
Ah.
He said, "Our crowd was pretty good today for the most part. They were loud for a minute there. The boos were really loud, which is always nice. The only team in our division to get booed at home is us. It's unbelievable to me." I call her shit.
Oh, yeah. As a
Urlach-
Lions fan, I can tell him for a
Urlacher
fact.
plays the Lions twice a year.
He should
Yeah.
know that
Lions
we get
fans
booed at
booed
home.
their team for a record 121 months from 2001 to 2010, letting up briefly in 2011 at the beginning of 2012, presumably to catch their breath.
Right.
A new collective bargaining agreement in place as of mid-season have locked fans in to boo their players in Honolulu Blue until 2014.
We don't have a choice about it.
Wait, you have to?
Yeah.
Wow, how much are you getting paid for that? If you're in a contract, you're getting scratch, right? Or
You
else
know,
it's
I
servitude.
think they lowered the beer prices or something.
Hey, there we go. I'm in. Boo to whoever it takes to get cheaper beer.
It's not going to change. If we talk about them, the media says, "You're blaming the fans for losing. You're doing this. You're blaming refs for losing. We lost that football game. Every game we play in, we lose. It's nobody's fault but ours. But we're allowed to say what we want." Final sentence is absolutely correct.
No,
Yeah.
yes. Go on. We have more from
Oh,
Urlacher.
more. Two of the people I don't care about, fans or media, Urlacher said. They want to...
It's not two people. It's
Right,
many,
right.
Yeah,
Many,
that's-
many people.
A collective.
He goes, they can say what they want about our head coach, about our players. It doesn't bother me because those people don't know what they're talking about, obviously.
Whoa.
It's weird. He says he doesn't care about them.
But then he seems awfully angry.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. I know there are a bunch of experts in the media, and there are a bunch of smart guys out there who know exactly what they're talking about all the time, but they don't know what they're talking about.
Wow.
Now, pump the brakes, Urlacher, because we all can't be criminology majors from the University of North Mexico. I'm sorry, New Mexico. Oh, my gosh.
North Mexico.
I know, I butchered
That's
the joke.
Canada.
I turned North Mexico into a directional school.
Yeah. I don't like hearing football players whine. Because
know.
bad wine comes from sour grapes.
Right, but now we have a frustrated, bald athlete who hasn't played in a while, and he's getting pissy at the fans and the media. What's missing here?
Finnish people.
Twitter.
I'll bet he's pissy about the refs, too.
Oh.
We lost that football game. The Bears lost the football game, but we damn sure didn't get any help from the refs. Which I will add, you're actually not supposed to get any help.
No,
from
not-
the refs.
no help
That's-
at all.
No, they're just
Wait,
supposed
Tony
to call
Spumante told me that the refs are supposed to help.
There's a lot of things that Tony Spumante told us that are just not true. Okay?
Asterisk some earlier episode.
Yeah.
The same guy calls 3 penalties on Alshon. Jeffrey's the wide receiver. Same damn guy calls 3 penalties. Late in the game, I thought he could have called one on the other guy, but he didn't call it. Maybe Alshon beat up his school in college. I don't know. Maybe he didn't like him. He had something against him.
Whoa.
Wow.
Alshon Jeffries played at South Carolina. So I don't know. I guess it's possible the ref went to Clemson?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is that a big enough thing that?
Charleston Community College that made a coming in for like a body bag game? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Charleston Community College, home of the fighting flutists.
That's
It's
flautist.
a flautist.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's a flautist.
No,
Flautist.
that's a Mexican treat. The flauta. You ever had a flauta?
I thought I did, but
Ah, the fighting flautas.
so that's Brian Urlacher, who it must be frustrated. He's not playing right now.
Yeah.
His team is losing.
In his defense,
Ooh.
Bears are not that bad this year. Like they've lost like 6 in a row or something.
Yes.
But I think that makes them like 8-7, like, or 8-6. Like they're not a bad team by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe
But they weren't getting no help from the refs that whole time.
that's a pretty fair point. They could still make the playoffs. Like, we boo the Lions because they're awful.
I just think it's so trite when I hear an athlete complaining about the media, the fans, and officials because he goes, "Well, the media is going to say we're blaming." Well, it sounds like you're blaming.
Yeah,
you're contradicting yourself a little bit. You could piss and moan somewhere else.
at the very least, pick one.
Yeah.
Piss
Focus
somewhere
your
else. You
efforts.
can moan here, but don't piss here. You can use a toilet for that.
Fair point, Phil.
Yeah.
Well, we have a great show today.
We do have
Yeah.
a great show today.
Phil, we got a weird sport.
You goddamn right we do. It's so weird, guys.
Careful what you say, goddamn. We do have, has been a long time, but we found another, I was on my radio thing, my
Right.
CB radio.
Right.
And I got sort of like a weird wavelength, and we got Howard Cosell from hell again.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's been a while since we've had one, but it's Howard Cosell interviews interviews from below. So
Wow.
So
That's a
that should
good
be
get.
interesting. Yeah.
And we'll have the America's favorite segment, other than weird sports, because weird sports is America's favorite segment.
Yeah, of
obviously.
course.
What's more racist?
Yes.
We will play
Hey!
What's More Racist.
The theme song
later
still
on.
wins.
Theme
Well,
song
let's wait
not
and
eligible.
see.
Not
Okay.
eligible.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right, let's do it.
Good evening. This is Howard Cosell, bringing you yet another series of interviews from hell. Why am I here? I can only assume it has something to do with the brothel I co-owned in Manila with Don King. But we all have our regrets. Joining me today is the former owner of the New York Yankees, George Steinbrenner. Simply known as the Boss, Steinbrenner was a hero to millions of Yankees fans and a villain to anyone else with a love for America's pastime. Mr. Steinbrenner, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Mr. Cosell, it's a pleasure to see you as well, but I can't understand how I landed down here.
You can't.
No, I felt like my wealth would make me immortal. It worked for the pharaohs, and my pyramid seats 50,000. I thought maybe if I offered God $300 million over 8 years, but turns out he's a big baseball fan, so I was out of luck.
The struggle of a man with his own mortality. One is reminded of Hamlet's speech about poor Yorick.
Howie, I hate to cut you off here, but I was wondering how much longer this is going to take. Much to do, I got lots to work on.
Mr. Steinbrenner, surely in death you finally have time to rest. Reflect.
Howie, I'm going to stop you right there. I'm not one to take this whole death thing lying down, and I'm working on a new team. The all-time Yankees team. People have talked, debated this over the years, and I have finally made it happen.
And you have found some of these past Yankee greats.
Oh, yeah. They're all right here in hell. Mantle, Whitey, Ruth practically runs this place. Basically everyone with Gehrig's down here.
And how is this progressing?
I got to tell you, Howie, it's not easy. There's a salary cap that I'm getting a hell of a time getting around.
A salary cap?
Yes, even hell has a salary cap, but not Major League Baseball. Anyway, I tried talking to the commissioner about this.
The commissioner?
Lucifer. I thought he'd be on my side after everything did to the Red Sox fans over the years.
But with so many Yankee greats still alive, won't the team be incomplete? You'd be missing anchors like Derek Jeter, Yogi Berra.
No, hey, Howard. You're making assumptions. Yogi Berra would not be on my team.
Spite is truly a powerful force. Even in death, your feud with Yogi Berra, one of the greatest catchers of all time.
Fuck that guy. Howard, I'm dead now, so I don't feel like missing words. Fuck Yogi Berra.
Strong words from the boss.
Now, listen, Howie. Can I ask you to speed this up here? Because Seinfeld's on at 5, 6, and 11 down here, but I can't stay up that late for the 11, so I need to watch at 5. I don't really know how I feel about Seinfeld. I just don't know. It's kind of odd, but I'm watching it because Jeter loved it.
Fine, Mr. Steinbrenner, fine. I have one last question. Do you have any regrets from your time in baseball?
No, none. I was a saint. And if the other owners hadn't been so jealous, they would have loved it. Except for Ted Turner. I wish he'd get down here. I'm lonely.
And the circle of life continues. So comes a close to another episode from Cosell in Hell.
Wicka wicka, what's more racist? Oh,
Still the theme song.
not eligible. Not
Yeah,
eligible for
it's not.
competition. Not eligible. ESPN commentator Rob Parker was suspended for comments he made in regard to Washington Redskins quarterback Robert Griffith III.
Oh, Rob Parker, a former
Robert
writer.
Griffin the
Yes. Rob Parker, former writer for
The News,
the Detroit News. Yeah.
he was not. I did not enjoy his writing then.
He had Rob on Rob violence.
on ESPN's First Take, largely considered an awful show by everyone,
Yep.
Parker was asked about Griffith's role as a black quarterback, to which he responded, "Is he a brother or a cornball brother?" Rob Parker is black.
Yeah.
Is he a brother or a cornball brother?
What does a cornball brother mean?
I don't know what that means.
Is it another way to say Uncle Tom? Because I know never to say Uncle Tom around black people because it's extremely offensive.
Well,
Right,
yeah,
I've got an Uncle Tom, and I do not introduce
Yeah,
him to
but you
anybody
can't.
with black people around. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Parker said he'd also like to know how he deals with black teammates and others in Washington. "We all know he has a white fiance," he said. "There was all this talk about he's a Republican, which there's no information on at all.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to dig deeper as to why he has an issue. Because we did find out with Tiger Woods. Tiger was like, I've got black skin, but don't call me black. In fairness, this is because he goes by Tiger.
Right.
So people got wondering about Tiger Woods early on. And that was the quote that he was suspended for ESPN for. Is this racist?
I'm still confused about the cornball. So, cornballs are generally something that's eaten at county fairs. I've had cornballs at county fairs.
Yeah.
I've had cornballs as sides at quicker restaurants. They'll give you a little fried cornball.
Yes, and sometimes a Hirschpurper.
Yeah, a Hirschpurper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Long John Silver's will give you a Hirschpurper.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
What kind of person can be described as a cornball, though? I would call somebody a cornball if they were like a cheesy comedian.
Yes.
Yes.
I would be fairly cornball
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
So would you be a black person or a cornball black person?
Yeah,
That's what the
don't-
question was, right?
It
Well,
was.
here's the thing. I guess if you did nothing other than change my skin color to black,
Yeah.
I would probably then qualify as a cornball brother.
See,
If I'm interpreting Rob Parker's
that was a total
comment
trap.
correctly.
Jules more racist. There we go.
Well, you know what? RG2 weighed in.
RG2 weighs in.
Right. That's
Robert Griffith II.
the father.
Wow.
Who says, I wouldn't say it's racism. I would say some people put things out there about people so they can stir things up. True words were never spoken since the law of gravity.
Yeah.
That's here's the thing. I think we have to assume it's at least a little racist though, because ESPN clearly does not suspend people just for being stupid.
Right. They have a lot of
They
people.
have a lot of stupid
What's his
people
name?
in the
Skip
network.
that always is talking.
Skip Bayless.
Nobody
See, he
named
often-
Skip is smart.
He always
Yeah.
argues with Rob Parker on that show First Take. I would
Oh.
suspend both of them.
Yeah.
Really, I really don't care for either of them.
But I have to assume, and again, this is I think this is kind of like that whole Monday thing where we didn't realize prior to it being a news story that was even a phrase that could be used in a derogatory and offensive way.
Unless that's Garfield talking about how he hates Mondays.
Yeah.
Even
or wait,
then,
did we
that's-
determine
you
that
know,
Garfield is
I was
racist?
going to say the
yeah,
more and more stuff that
asterisks.
comes out about Jim Davis.
Yeah, pretty
not
bad.
good. However, it was a good week for podcasters collecting racist news.
All right, that's us.
Because what's more racist? Is this? Fans of two-time defending Russian champion Zenit St. Petersburg, it's a soccer team, or football,
Yeah, football.
are calling for non-white and gay players to be excluded from the team.
Whoa.
Lance Sclerona, the largest.
He must
Thank
be
you.
gay.
It's the largest Zenit fan club, released
Oh.
a manifesto on Monday demanding the club field an all-white heterosexual team. It added, dark-skinned players are all but forced down Zenit's throat, which only brings out a negative reaction.
Whoa.
Unworthy of our great city. The club quickly distanced themselves from the fans.
Yeah.
I would say so. That's more racist. I don't like that.
Also, this seems like that whole Timberwolf thing. Are they sure they want to just play the white people? Because we're not good at many sports.
The fan club, like always, as always with that more racist, the racist parties generally go out of their way to say they're not racist.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
The fan club insisted, we are not racist. For us, the absence of black Zenit players is just an important tradition that underlines the team's identity and nothing more. Now, Russia has struggled with racism and violence at a stadium as it prepares to host the World Cup in 2018.
Man, they got the
Now,
Olympics coming up.
So
too,
that's pretty racist. We'd all agree that's pretty racist.
That's terrible to be like, I don't hate black people.
yeah.
I just have a tradition of only being around white people.
I don't
It's
know how
terrible.
we could possibly top that.
Well, we'll see what we got here. Black players in Russia are frequently the targets of monkey chants, and some from this other thing had bananas thrown at them by fans. Moscow fans held up a banner in 2010 thanking an English team for signing their black striker with a picture of a banana.
What is up with them?
Russia's
and
World Cup awkwardly claimed they were referencing a quaint little used Russian expression meaning to fail an exam. You know, a banana.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Right, so I think that is pretty terrible.
Yeah.
And I guess, and I didn't know this, but I've talked to some people who do follow like Premier League and stuff. Apparently, there's a lot of racism in soccer. There's a lot of old-timey chants that people have when they're playing certain teams that are just filled with slurs and awful things.
Oh, I think I've heard those chants where like, we want to kill the Norwegians. We kill stupid Norwegians. Dumber than us, they're Norwegians.
Well,
And
see,
that's from a Norwegian
I was
team.
going to say. Anyway.
It's times like that I do remember that it's like, America full of its own levels of racism.
Right.
But this is really stuff that we kind of went through in like the 50s.
Yeah.
And it's like we're still obviously racial issues here, but
Of course.
we're way ahead of Europe on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or is it the Big East who have forced out 7 schools
Jordan-
for
Jo-
no
Jordan-
crime
Jordan-
other than
Jordan,
being Catholic?
please, Jordan,
The
could you please?
rampant
I don't think that's Jordan.
anti-Catholicism
It's,
rhetoric.
Catholicism
Jordan,
is not
that's
a
not
race.
true.
It's Jordan.
Georgetown,
no, it's inaccurate.
Villanova, St.
It's
John's,
simply okay.
Seton Hall,
Jordan,
Providence, DePaul,
Jordan,
and
Joel,
Marquette.
punch him.
Kick them.
Punch him.
Sorry, Jordan. You went on one of your Big East tirades again.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
What's more racist? Ooh.
Still the theme song. For you, the listeners of Sports Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I personally recommend a wonderful book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Joel saw the movie. He said that it was okay. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Again, that's audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network for your free audiobook. And now it's time for another Weird Sports! Weird Sports.
What do we got?
Okay, I'm excited.
This week's Weird Sport, Joie de Paume.
Is this French?
Joie de Paume.
This would
Joie de
be
Paume.
Game of
Joie
Palm.
de Paume.
Is it involve slapping?
Joie de Paume.
Oh, c'est vrai.
C'est vrai, Joie de Paume.
Oui.
Parlez-vous français?
Wow, the baguette.
Joie de Paume.
All right.
Joie de Paume, or English translation, Palm Game.
Palm game.
we were right.
Nailed it. Is a ball and court game that originated in France.
Oh, nailed it.
Joie de Paume. We're going to play Joie de Paume. It's an indoor precursor to tennis, played without rackets, though these were eventually introduced.
So it's indoor tennis.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, pretty much. Little known fact, but I'm going to tell you anyways. It was a former Olympic sport.
Oh.
Yeah. And
How
it
many
has,
Olympics was that in? Does it say?
1908 Summer Olympics had it. I think it's just that one.
They did a lot of experimentation those early Olympics. You know, things were pretty crazy.
Because those Olympics were in college. They were away from home the first time. Had to experiment and see what they had to play the palm game. I did a lot of that my freshman year. I'm lonely. It has the oldest ongoing annual world championship in sport. First established 250 years ago. Yeah, 250 years of annual competition for Joie de Paume.
I'm surprised I haven't heard of this
Yeah.
before now.
Yeah.
That is actually a quite interesting factoid.
Also, it seems like I know it's weird because we didn't know it, but otherwise it seems like a reasonable sport.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just indoor
Seems like
tennis.
It should be, but nobody's heard of it because it's called Joie de Paume. Or, this is a fun little factoid. Ready for the most passive-aggressive thing you've ever heard? Another name for joie de paume is court paume, or real tennis.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
That would be like if everyone was playing football right now and I'm like, oh, I invented a sport. It's called real football with no pads, pussies.
Oh, shit.
That's the equivalent.
Yeah.
You guys
So it's kind of like handball, but you're hitting it over a net.
it kind of is. Let's dive in. Let's dive in a little bit to the history.
They have goofy names for keeping score.
We're gonna get into that. We're
Okay.
gonna get into that. Late in the 18th century, here we go. In its earliest versions of the game, the players hit the ball with their hands, as in palia, volleyball, or certain varieties of pelota, also weird sports.
Yes.
Well, with the exception of volleyball.
Right. Well, volleyball is pretty fucking weird. Let's get down to our underwear and jump up and down in sand. Weirdos.
Let's talk about volleyball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
They have, even with paddle-like bats and finally rackets became standard equipment in the game by the late 1600s, the name did not change. It became known as tennis in English, and later real tennis after the game of lawn tennis became a more widely known sport.
I'm going to start going to Wimbledon every year and go, oh, where's the lawn tennis match?
Yeah. Is it
You
lawn
direct me to the
tennis?
lawn tennis match.
I feel like I've heard of lawn tennis. That's a thing.
Well, lawn tennis is the original name for tennis.
Oh.
That's what they used to
Yeah.
call it. Come on, I'm the sports outsider, and even Isa knows of that.
It's no real tennis.
Yeah, not real tennis. Joie de paume is real tennis. Let's see. The term is used in France today to denote the game of tennis on a court in which the ancient or modern game might be played. The indoor version is sometimes called joie de court paume, or just court paume, or short palm, to distinguish it from the outdoor version. You know what? This article doesn't say how to play, so I'll just tell you what I saw on the YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Oftentimes I watch the YouTube. It's like a little tiny tennis court inside, kind of like a racquetball court, and people are like playing handball, but they're hitting it over a net, and it's a very small court.
Okay.
But
They also apparently use rackets now.
They use, I assume it's just like a racquetball, only it moves slower, and you hit it over a net in a smaller court.
All right.
Yeah.
Pretty weird, huh?
Wonder how this didn't catch on more.
Yeah, since 1740, Joie de Paume has been the subject of an amateur world championship held each year in September. It is the oldest active trophy in international sport.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
older
a hell
than
of
Stanley's Cup, older than NFL ring, older than the baseball
The Vince Lombardi
Heisman.
trophy.
Yeah.
It's older than the ring toss World Cup.
You just made that up, Phil.
It's older than moon bounce medal moon
Well,
cheese.
I mean,
Metal moochies.
we only were on the moon 1969, so there's
Yeah.
no way that would be older.
way it
so
could
the
be
government would lead you to believe. There's a lot of derived sports that come from Joie de Paume. You want to hear them all?
Yes.
Here we go. It's the basket pelota. That's one, the basket pelota. Number 2, fistball. Number 3, Frisian handball. Number 4, langue panne. Number 5, Pallone. Sylvester Pallone. Number 6, Valencian pelota. So those are 6 weird sports that we're going to go over eventually.
In a later
Because they all got
episode.
links, so why not? Various
Yeah.
other forms of handball may be related to one degree or another. This is generally difficult to ascertain with some certainty, and some, like the Mesoamerican ball game, are clearly unrelated.
We did the Mesoamerican ball game.
What I
didn't we?
love is that they made there's a sentence in here where they say that the Mesoamerican ball game is not related to it. That's like a non-fact. That's
Yeah.
like saying Phil Ranta was not born in a tree. It's not a. Why
You
would they
weren't
put
born
that
in
in
a
my
tree?
Wikipedia article?
Well, it's like if someone said something to me. It was the other day. It was, I was doing something unironically, and I was like, "Wouldn't that just be regular?"
Yeah.
Like you don't say I said it. He said it unsarcastically. You'd say, "No, he just said it."
Yeah.
Huh.
In this case, though, here's the thing. All right, so it's very similar to the Mesoamerican ball game, but I think they want to like concretely point out that there was no way that the two could.
Yeah,
Well,
don't
yes.
stick Joie de Paume in a
Two
box.
different cultures separated by an ocean and thousands of years.
Yeah, totally.
So,
Hundreds
you
of
know,
whatevs.
the coincidence of how similar they are could be strong enough that they felt the need to put that non-fact
Here's the thing:
in there to
the
clarify.
Meso-American ball game, they hit with their hips.
Yeah,
Not
you
hands.
remember, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And then they chop off a head.
Yeah.
They play with it.
Yep.
been known to
You
happen.
ready? You ready for a little fun fact?
Yeah, sure.
Who here is a fan of Jeremy Irons?
The actor.
That would be everyone.
And who here knows an anagram for Jeremy Irons?
Joie de Paume.
Jeremy's Iron.
Simpsons.
Simpsons reference. Socialite Charles Smithson, played by Jeremy Irons, is seen playing Joie de Paume when he returns to London in the acclaimed 1981 film The French Lieutenant's Woman.
Oh!
That's how you might have seen this game before.
I'm gonna have to Netflix that.
Yeah, just
Hitting
imagine
it
the scene.
Big time.
Remember Jeremy Irons played socialite Charles Smithson. You can remember that character very well. Believe he did not win an Academy Award for that. Playing Joie de Paume. So it's affected all of our lives in one way or another.
Consider me joie de informed.
Informed game.
Yeah.
And that brings to the end another Weird Sports!
All right, citizens of podcast land, that brings us to the end of another sports podcast. But before we go, Phil would like to pass on some contact information.
You can email us at sportspodcast@gmail.com. That's sportspodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at sports3podcast. That's sports3 podcast. You can find us on Facebook by searching Sports Podcast, the little top bar thingy. You can find us on Stitcher Radio. Download the Stitcher app today at Stitcher.com and search Sports Podcast. You can find us on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/comedypodnet. That's youtube.com/comedypodnet. Check out our episodes and our other Comedy Podcast Network brethren. You can find us on iTunes by searching Sports3 space podcast. That's Sports3 all one word space podcast, or find all of our past episodes at comedypodcastnetwork.com.
All right, that wraps her up.
Oh, I got bad news, guys.
What?
I just got an email from a bunch of Russian soccer fans.
Yeah.
They're not going to listen to our podcast anymore because apparently they think we're all homosexuals.
Ugh.
I say good riddance to them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joie de
we
good
can probably do
riddance.
just as well without. Lights off.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.